Instagram or LinkedIn? I'm about to settle this debate once and for all on which platform you need to be in based on your niche. And if you don't know which platform to be on in your industry and market, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars in revenue for your agency. Now, you've probably seen agency owners like this, or this crushing it, and you're wondering what's separating them from you. And that ultimately leads you to try to copy everything, including what platform they're getting their leads from. And to be transparent, that's not the case. It's not because they have a better service or that their offer is better, maybe. But at the end of the day, it comes down to something that is more than just being better. Again, it isn't about which platform is better, it's about which platform your ideal client avatar is hanging out in, and ultimately where they're ready to buy. I've spent the last 6 years running an agency and testing out different industries, seeing what other agency owners are doing, and ultimately guiding them to making the right decision on which platform to find their actual client. And to be transparent, I've sometimes told people that if they are in a specific industry, not to do DMs, Instagram, or LinkedIn at all, and just focus on cold calling, focus on paid ads or email. So across these 30 different niches, from med spas to real estate, from blue collar and tradespeople to fitness and restaurants, I discovered that there's actually a formula and a science to actually finding the right people and ultimately using the right platform to get more appointments and ultimately scale your agency. But on the flip side, I've actually seen people waste 6 months picking the wrong platform, ultimately to just get maybe a booked appointment a month. Whereas I've seen people in the same niche on a different platform that makes more sense, and they're getting 15 to 20 appointments a month, and ultimately 3, 5 clients a month too. Now, the question that might be in the back of your head is, why do I know this? How long have I been in this space, and who am I? Look, I've been helping agency owners for the past 4 or 5 years now get appointments through DM outreach, and today I'm here on a mission to help thousands of agency owners scale their agency and stop being miserable because of small things like which platform to be on. So today, I'm gonna share with you this framework that's gonna help you understand which niche you should be in, and ultimately at the end of the day, it's just gonna be a list of that if you're in this niche, be on here. So before I give you that list, I want to share with you 2 different agency owners I recently helped in the past month. They were in completely 2 different industries. One was making 40, 55K a month using LinkedIn. The other one was making 35, 38K over Instagram. Same month, same strategies, but different platform. The key wasn't which platform is better, but it was which one's the right one for them. And if you're fishing for the wrong fish in the wrong pond, you're gonna come out with nothing or the wrong client. So for example, I've seen people literally, believe it or not, you might think it's obvious, but I've seen people in home services go on LinkedIn and actually find prospects there when they're actually hanging out on Instagram and Facebook. In the same token, I've seen people on Instagram look for accounting firms and financial firms because they were copying a script that they saw their friend do that got them to 50K, and they're not getting any appointments when they should be on LinkedIn. So here's a quick niche by niche breakdown, and I'm gonna pull out my remarkable tablet here. Now, while I go ahead and set this up, I want to let you know that there's deep psychology between each platform, right? Because they're for different purposes, for different people, for different behavior. So let me break down the psychology behind Instagram's platform first. At the end of the day, it's an entertainment platform. Instagram's uses are in the discovery and entertainment mode. They're stop scrolling for entertainment, for edutainment, lifestyle content, catching up with friends and peers, and ultimately a visual, satisfying experience. We all like that little clay or the click-clacketing sounds that are satisfying, right? This makes it perfect for niches that are visually appealing and ultimately aesthetic. That's boss. And at the end of the day, a lot of these business owners who have customers make emotional based decisions like fitness or again chiros or med spas. They're going to be hanging out on Instagram, and guess what, because their customers hang out on Instagram, they're going to hang out there too. Now for LinkedIn users, they're more about problem solving, about a credibility, building your brand and building your business. They're looking for business solutions, networking opportunities, and at the end of the day, industry specific insights. This makes LinkedIn an ideal place to find logical based, ROI based clients. But here's the interesting thing. Some niches work best for both platforms, Instagram and LinkedIn. And then at the end of the day, you just need to do a quick A/B test between these two and see which one brings you a higher ROI and ultimately better clients. So there's a list of questions that you can ask yourself to help you use the right platform. Starting with number 1 is, where does a person who signs the checks, aka a decision maker, usually hang out when their business hours are open? A restaurant owner might check out Instagram for food pics and inspiration. Fitness, they might start posting or looking at other influencers' ideas so that they can grow their brand. Med spa and estheticians might look at great reels so that they can attract more beauty clients and ultimately sell more Botox. On the same token, a law firm might actually be looking on LinkedIn for more industry insights about the policies that are recently happening in the United States. And in another industry, a real estate agent might share both insights about their current market in their local area on both Instagram and on LinkedIn. Likewise, a coach or consultant or an author or keynote speaker might be sharing more insights on LinkedIn to actually work out networking opportunities. So those are just some things that you want to think about is where are they hanging out? And again, like I said a moment ago, where are their clients hanging out? Because usually they want to hang out where their clients are hanging out. So we want to hang out with them too. So I'm going to give you the exact platform recommendation based on your niche. So let's go ahead and draw a nice straight line here, as straight as possible. So on LinkedIn side, first, let's go ahead and start there. You got your law firms. These guys are making ROI-based driven decisions. Now, the transparent thing is they are just as active on Instagram, but I usually find better results with booking appointments off of LinkedIn because it's a B2B platform. And so they really like it when you talk about MVA cases and how you've been able to help other law firms, whereas Instagram, they're just there to try to brain rot and scroll. So I highly recommend LinkedIn, law firms for LinkedIn. Now, the second niche I like to recommend is SaaS or software companies. A lot of these people are networking, sharing different ideas and insights about their current project and their software, and they're less hanging out on Instagram, more on the back end, sharing insights B2B and networking with other people. So I like to say that SaaS is actually on, or SaaS is better on LinkedIn. Now, this is a crazy one, believe it or not, but financial services are on LinkedIn. Trust and credibility is everything. So a lot of these people make posts, probably 3 posts a week, trying to share different insights about finances and how people can monitor the economy and ultimately stay afloat, whether it's a recession or a booming economy. Now, this one, a lot of agency owners aren't in anyways, but it's manufacturers. Actually, crazy or not, like yesterday, I actually had someone say that they want to test out manufacturing. No joke. I can actually send you the recording. But this is simply where B2B drives most of the manufacturers' business. So obviously LinkedIn is the best place rather than Instagram. Now, I do recommend doing both to test it out, but honestly, you get a lot more replies and ultimately more booked appointments with qualified people on LinkedIn if you're going after coaches and consultants, keynote speakers. Just simply because a lot of them are more established there than you find on hashtags. I don't know what it is with the algorithm on Instagram, but I find a lot more qualified people on LinkedIn. Another niche a lot of people aren't in is wealth management advisors. Again, very professional and post content, and they like to usually work with people B2B or at least find people in high C-suite executive positions so that they can be their advisors. Another one that I honestly say I get a lot more appointments with versus LinkedIn or Instagram on LinkedIn is mortgage loan officers. I just find a lot more of them being active there. So I highly recommend, sure, you can do your test, but loan officers I've seen get more appointments through LinkedIn. So as much as we like to think B2B and ultimately you're going to get more established professional clients on LinkedIn, you're also going to get your professional clients off of Instagram. Again, it's just because they're hanging out there as well. So let's go ahead on the flip side and talk about Instagram's platform and who's on it. So to kick it off, we're going to start with my home bread and butter, fitness. Highly recommend going on fitness. Now, I will say I've gotten a lot of appointments for guys like Jesse Catalano on LinkedIn who are landing high ticket deals on LinkedIn, but you're going to get a majority of your appointments in CrossFit gyms, in fitness trainers, personal trainers, holistic coaches, studios off of Instagram. Then you got your restaurants. As I mentioned, a lot of them hang out there posting, trying to create a lot of aesthetic food posts and really draw in their local area to come to their restaurant, their pub, etc. Now, this is really a kicker because a lot of people think doctors should be on LinkedIn, but believe it or not, a lot of med spas and chiros are hanging out on Instagram. And here's why. Because at the end of the day, these guys are hanging around their consumers. They're hanging around their patients, their clients. And so you don't go ahead and see a chiro posting back cracks or a med spa posting Botox to a business owner on LinkedIn. No, they're going to go on Instagram where their clients hang out and show them before and afters, show them the cracks, the quick audio, satisfying sound of someone's back cracking. That's why they're hanging out there, and that's where you should be hanging out as well. Now, this is a test in of itself, but if you're an e-com, you can definitely try and use Instagram over LinkedIn, and here's why. Sure, on LinkedIn, you can try and find the business owner quicker because everyone tells you their job titles, but on e-com, most of them are going to be hanging out there, at least for their personal reasons or to help their business grow on socials. Now, fair warning, I would definitely say for e-com, you might get better results with emails and paid ads if you aren't on there or doubling down on there. So I do recommend focusing on those platforms beyond Instagram, but on Instagram, if you're going to talk about DMs, that's going to be the best platform. Then finally, you got the whole umbrella of home service. So that includes HVAC, landscaping, tree removal, concrete, home restoration, or roofing, right? These home service industries, they're definitely hanging out there now, even more than Facebook. They're on Instagram now because, again, understand that millennials and the Gen Zs now who are buying home or getting homes, they are on Instagram. So they hang out there, which means you should hang out there. So like I said, that there's a third category, which is that they're both on Instagram and LinkedIn, which is good for you because now you can double down on both and get more appointments. So to kick it off, you should definitely be working with real estate agents. Real estate agents are active on LinkedIn, sharing insights and also getting more leads, specifically with professionals on there. Now, they're also posting to build their brand and become a local celebrity in their area so that people trust them, consumers, and that's why they're on Instagram as well. And they are also are in their own DMs striking, cold DMs to get them to become leads and work with them. Number two, healthcare. Now, they're also looking at B2B medical services and finding insights, so they're hanging out there, but they're also looking for clients on Instagram as well. The other one is automotive. Now, a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but I'm just going based off what I'm seeing here. Yes, I get a lot more paid appointments off of Instagram, like car detailing, but I also get a lot more established business owners off of LinkedIn because usually they're there making B2B deals with for fleets and commercial deals. So you definitely want to do your test, see which one resonates and get you your ICP or client avatar. It might be Instagram because of the quantity, but at the end of the day, quality also matters too, so don't forget about that. And then finally, you actually have tech here. And I forgot to add in here, if you're in cybersecurity, definitely be here. Also insurance. Insurance is both here. If there's a niche that you haven't listed out here, please drop it in the Zoom chat. Drop it down in the YouTube channel here in the YouTube video. But tech, they're on both. Striking enterprise sales on LinkedIn, but also selling consumer tech on Instagram and building their brand there. So definitely be on both platforms. So if you're in one side or the other, good news, I just solved it for you. Now, if you're on the flip of like, I'm on both Instagram or LinkedIn, and let's just say that you're in real estate, then I just recommend starting with one platform, mastering that a little bit, getting it going consistently and doing 100, 150 plus DMs a day. And then from there, once you got that set up, do a split test. Don't try to chase two rabbits at once and try to get this one set up and that one set up at the same time. Just focus on Instagram first, let's say, and then focus on LinkedIn and getting that going. So guys, that's a quick and easy breakdown. Again, if you have another niche that I didn't list here, go ahead and drop it in the comment section below. At the end of the day, a lot of the agency owners understand this one simple thing. It's not that their offer isn't sexy. It's not that they are sending the wrong messages. It's just that they are on the wrong platform if they aren't succeeding. So just like a fisherman, you also need to be in the right place to grab fish, right? Your fishing rod's okay, you just aren't fishing in the right place. So whether you're on Instagram or LinkedIn, now it's just about building out the actual script, making sure you have a compelling offer, and ultimately successfully landing appointments left and right. So I'm going to leave 2 different masterclasses depending on whether you should focus on Instagram or on LinkedIn down below so that you can start mastering Instagram DMs and getting more appointments, or LinkedIn and getting more appointments through there. So guys, don't guess which platform is going to work. Leverage this video and my insights and my 8 years of knowledge here and ultimately leverage it for your business.